Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you the introduction to my sewing machine. This is a Brother XL 3750. So I hope you can hear me over the heater. But this is the Brother XL 3750, but it's a pretty basic sewing machine. I had a Kenmore for about 15 years or more. And I dropped it, so I broke it, and Jim bought me a new one, and he got this one for me. It's pretty basic, which is fine. I'm happy with it. This one has a drop-in bobbin. The Kenmore I had a front-load bobbin, so I had to learn how to do that differently. But I'm just going to show you how this machine gets threaded. Now, I will tell you, compared to the Kenmore, compared to all the other machines I've used, they're almost exactly the same. However, in modern times, they've gotten so much easier. So this is a telescoping thread holder. Here is your bobbin winder and your bobbin thickness adjuster. This particular machine maps it all out for you. It tells you exactly how to thread it, exactly what steps to do the bobbin winding and threading it. And then the threading actually has like numbers. Like, so you can see it says number 1 is to do this, right? And then down here it says down here it says number 2 is to bring it down here, and number 3 is to loop it back up. I'm sorry you can't see that in the shadow so much. It says number 3 is to loop it back up, and number 4 is to hook it on, and then number 5 is to bring it back down to thread the needle. And I don't think that it could be really any simpler for you, but I will show you. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your arm right here is up, because I have to snag that arm, okay? And what I'm going to do actually is take out this bobbin, because I'm going to show you all how to thread a bobbin, and we're going to switch colors. So the first thing I want to do is I want to thread my bobbin, okay? Because I don't want to thread the machine and then use the thread to thread the bobbin. Does that make sense? Yeah, hold on. So this is a bobbin winder. Here is an empty bobbin. You want to get a bobbin that's specific to your machine. Okay. I'm using pink thread. It's very pale pink. But I got it from Walmart 100 years ago. I got it from Walmart so long ago. It used to be 2 for $1. I went to go buy some thread the other day, and they were $1.79 for this type of cheap thread and $2.79 for a higher quality. But what you want to do is, I'm old school. I like to lick my thread. I like to make it wet. So what you do is you poke, or what I do is I poke the thread through one of the holes, right? And then you put it on the bobbin threader, okay? Now once I slide this, the arm with the needle will not go up and down anymore. Okay, so once I thread this, only this will spin, okay? So I don't want to lock it yet. I want to show you. I've threaded that. So I'm going to put this on the thread holder, and then I'm going to take the thread and I'm going to follow this diagram. The diagram says the thread comes from, it says it comes from the thing, and here, let's do it. Let's do it the way they intended to. Oh, I didn't actually tie it. So they tell you the thread comes from the spool. It goes under the guide. Oh, can you see the guide? So it goes under that guide, and then it goes back on top to the bobbin holder. And now I've completely sorry, it's gotten twisted. Oh my lord. I'm so glad I'm showing you how to do it. I'm totally messing it up. Okay, let's try this again. It goes from here and then to here. And then it goes into the bobbin. Oop. And you have to do it from the center of the bobbin to one of the outside edges. or else like you can't go like down like, oh sorry, you can't go down like this, it'll make a mess. But you have to go from inside the bobbin to one of the holes on the outside. And actually I can go from the center down if I wanted to. As long as I can grip onto that piece of thread, I will be okay. And I'm done. And I can't, so I'm not. Okay. I've done it. So now I'm going to pull it taut and get it disconnected from everywhere it's hooked onto. Okay, so now you can see I have thread. This one is just like the picture. Goes under and then over to here. And now I'm going to slide this, which, did I do it? No. Okay. Slide that, and then I press the presser foot, which by the way, I don't even think I laid flat yet. Nope, it's upside down. And like I said, once you have the bobbin spooler slid over, it'll only run the bobbin. It won't run. Okay, so I want to show you. The needle is not moving. Okay, and now that I've caught up, that end of that thread's trapped. You don't have to worry about holding on to that. And now if you see that space, this is going to continue to wind until it touches that space. Now this is adjustable. See, it's got a screw up there. So I could swing this closed. I don't want to though. I could swing this closed more so it will stop. But it will stop when it touches that plastic piece. And I'm sorry it's out of focus. I don't know why it's out of focus. There you go. So it kind of, yeah. Okay. So that is a full bobbin, which is great. Most sewing machines have a thread cutter, which is this here. Most new sewing machines, I should say. A lot of old ones, but most new ones. Okay, so now we're gonna thread the machine, and we're gonna follow the instructions for threading. So it goes, my thread goes under and under here and under here. There we go, and then over there, and then it goes down and up, and I catch on that silver thing, and then back down again. And like I said, super simple, so much easier than it was like when I was a wee youngin'. And now here comes the hard part. I cannot thread the needle with the presser foot up. Maybe you can. You might be very talented. I apologize. I am not. I also cannot do it without my glasses. So can you see the thread has like, no, there. See how the thread's got like all these little hairs hanging out? Sometimes the hairs get in the way. Sometimes the hairs help. Sometimes you're blind as a bat. So these hairs are going to get in my way. So what I do is I take my really good fabric scissor and I cut a clean tip. I still wet it again because, I don't know, old school. You wet the thread before you put it in the needle. It just keeps it from fraying. The end will fray on you, and if you're not careful. Oh, here we go. And it's that simple. There are some self-threading needles. I have not always had great success with them sewing on certain objects, but that's just me. I'm not the greatest sewer. I'm self-taught. How did I teach myself? Yeah, I mentioned it before. I watched a show called Nancy's Notions to learn how to like piece things together, but as far as the sewing machine and stitches is concerned, I read the manual. And I'm not kidding. There's one of the very few books I ever read was the manual to the sewing machine. So this is a drop bobbin, and this picture says, this picture right here says just go like this. So once it's there, you put the cover back on, or you can pull it up first. So you hold the thread that's coming out of the needle and you turn the machine and just hold it. I'm not pulling yet. But now can you see how the one thread has caught onto the other thread right there? So then once that happens, you want to gently pull, and that's going to pull your bobbin thread up in that space right there. And once your bobbin thread's pulled up, then you can begin sewing. Now just put the cover back on, which is fairly simple on this machine because there's only one way to do it. And there you have it. So you want both of these threads to be between the feet. This is just a regular presser foot. There's all different kinds. There's ones for zippers, there's ones for zigzags, there's all different kinds. Some for turning edges and stuff. And then what else most sewing machines that I've come across in modern times has is a little bit of measurements here. So this has centimeters on the bottom and 5/8 of an inch. It says that my straight stitching, and then it shows 1/4 of an inch is right along the edge of the presser foot. So if where the stitch is, if the stitch is on like straight, where is this one? If this, where's my center? Hold on a second. Where's my center? Yeah, that's it. So number 1 is my center. Okay. So now that since it's on the center, it says up to the edge of this presser foot is 1/4 of an inch. All right. Oh no, there it is. That's my center. So up to the presser foot, from the stitch to the presser foot's 1/4 of an inch. And then it shows you 5/8, and it goes further and further. The markings are back here, which is a little hard for you to see on camera. I can go around the back. That's really hard to see. Sorry. It's really, oh, there you go. That's a little bit better. So you can see the inches are up there and the centimeters are down here. So now we're just gonna get to sewing. So what we want to do for this is we want to do a zigzag. So here's what it tells you what all the stitches are on this machine. Okay, it says all of these are the regular stitches and the regular settings, which is here 1 through 13. Okay. And then down here is S1, which is 14 through 25. So if you look on the outside dial, S1 is 14 through 25 are these stitches. So say I wanted this pretty number 18, I would set this to S1 and I would turn this to the 18. And that's how this one works. Hold on, it's really dark. Okay, good, that's better. Sorry. I didn't realize it was so dark. And then if I wanted these, I go back to the S2, which is actually on this side, and then I can get all of these stitches down here, which are very decorative. Okay? But I don't know if I want to just do a plain zigzag or if I do want to do something like this. Stuff like this does usually take more thread, though, than a plain zigzag. But I thought I was just going to do a plain zigzag. Decisions. You know what? I have some scrap. Let me try out what I want to do. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to set this at that pretty 18 that I showed you. So that's S1, and that's 18. So let's see how that looks. And this looks like, yeah, this looks like it goes pretty much down the middle. There's a mark on the presser foot here. I know you can just see my work and not everything around me because it's dark and this light's on. The light, without taking out the light bulb, you can't turn the light off on this machine without turning the machine off. So I apologize. But there's a little mark in the middle of the presser foot that says where the middle needle is going to land. So I'm lining that up with where I want the middle of the thread to land, which is the edge of the fabric. And I'm going to start slowly. Okay, so what I'm finding out is it doesn't actually happen in the middle on this stitch. So I'm moving it over a tiny bit. And you see I'm not pushing and I'm not pulling. I'm letting the machine do it. This way it'll use the same distance of stitches and threading of stitches. Okay, so pick it up and turn it. Oh, I like that. I think I will do that. That's very pretty. And it doesn't really mask the ends. Like if I do I'll show you it. If I had done just a basic zigzag, sometimes the edges of the fabric gets covered. A lot of times sewing, this is the most difficult thing. What do you do with all your excess fabric, especially when you're sewing on the edges of stuff like this? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to back stitch some. I'm going to hold the presser, this reverse. Can you guys see it all? No, you can't. Okay. This is the reverse button, so I'm going to hold it while I press the presser foot, and it's going to walk backwards, and it's going to do the same stitches but backwards. And we just use that as a locking stitch. Okay? So let's see. And I cut my thread. Give myself a little extra. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you have any questions at all, even the slightest one, leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share it with friends and family, anybody you know would be interested in learning how easy it really is to use a sewing machine. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe. When you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. As always, take care. God bless. See you next time. Bye.